Hey there, today I've got a little game for you. Look around the room you're in. Can you spot the one thing that's secretly making your home messier without you even realizing it? Don't answer too fast, because chances are it's not something big or ugly or broken. In fact, it might be something you actually like, that's quietly making your space harder to manage one day at a time. So in this video, I'm sharing 13 items and habits I've completely removed from my home. And not just removed. I'll show you what I replaced them with, simple swaps that keep things cleaner longer and make daily life feel a whole lot lighter. And the first one starts in a place most of us think we've got under control, the cleaning supplies cabinet. But trust me, there's probably something sitting there right now quietly making everything worse. Let's start where a lot of silent clutter hides the cleaning supply shelf. Mine used to be packed. I had a spray for windows, one for the stovetop, a special wipe just for the fridge handle, and 2 different bottles for the bathroom, though I never really knew which one to grab. Most of them were half-used, shoved in the back, and honestly, I kept rebuying because I forgot what I already had. So I gave myself this rule: if I couldn't use it for more than one space in the house, it didn't deserve shelf space. Now I keep just 3. A multi-surface spray. I mix at home water, a little dish soap, and lemon oil. I use it on kitchen counters, the bathroom sink, even my dining table. A concentrated liquid soap that works for both dishes and floor mopping, 1 small bottle that saves me from storing 5 different jugs. A baking soda scrub I keep in a jar with a spoon for tough stuff like the inside of the tub or sticky stovetop spills. Here's a real example. Last week, I spilled red sauce on the stove and had toothpaste crusted on the bathroom sink. I didn't reach for 2 different sprays, just the same little surface mix and a cloth. Done in 5 minutes. Your cleaning shelf doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to be simple enough that you'll actually use what's on it. By the way, starting tomorrow, I'm sharing a full week of simple steps I'm taking to reset and declutter my home. I've been working on this all month, and I can't wait to show you how it's going. Make sure to come back for tomorrow's video. It's the first day of my calm home week, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Next, let's look at another everyday area where more often means more overwhelm. You know those cleaning tools that sound amazing when you buy them, but somehow never become part of your routine? I once bought a 2-in-1 mop that claimed to steam, scrub, and dry all at once. It came with 6 attachments, a plug, a manual the size of a book. And guess what? It sat in my closet for months. I used it twice. Then it became one more thing I had to clean, dry, and store. That was the moment I realized, if a cleaning tool makes me do extra work after I clean, I don't want it. Here's what I use now: a basic microfiber mop with a twist handle. It dries fast, rinses easily, and I don't need to read instructions to use it. A dustpan and brush set that clips together, no batteries, no cord, no hassle. A long-handled duster that hangs behind my laundry door. I grab it in seconds, swipe the baseboards, done. Simple, uncomplicated, reliable. The truth is, a tool you don't use weekly is just another thing to manage. You have to store it, clean it, remember where it is. And for what? A 5-minute job that you could have done with a cloth and a spray bottle. So here's your task. Take 5 minutes this week, open that cabinet or closet, and pull out every cleaning gadget you haven't touched in the last month. Then ask, is this making my life easier or just taking up space? If it's the second, you know what to do. Here's a little trick that changed the way I clean my home and saved me from impulse buying new sprays every time I went down the cleaning aisle. I started making my own all-purpose spray. Just 3 things I always have on hand: warm water, a few drops of unscented dish soap, a splash of white vinegar or lemon juice. That's it. I mix it in a clear spray bottle, shake it gently, and use it for almost everything: kitchen counters, dining table, bathroom sink, even to freshen up cabinet doors or the top of my washer. Why it works? It's cheap. It's simple. It never runs out because the ingredients are already in your home. And here's a real moment: I had guests coming over unexpectedly, and my go-to cleaner was empty. Instead of running to the store or panicking, I grabbed the refill bottle under the sink and mixed a new batch in 30 seconds. Crisis avoided, and I've never looked back. The best part, I stopped storing 4 half-used sprays for different surfaces and reclaimed almost a full shelf in my cleaning cabinet. So if you're up for a quick DIY that makes everyday cleaning smoother, this one's a keeper. Next, let's step out of the cleaning zone and into a space where clutter hides in plain sight: your wardrobe. Let's be honest, sometimes it's not the mess that stresses us out. It's the options. A while ago, I had 6 pairs of shoes lined up along my bedroom wall. A pair of metallic loafers I bought for a wedding. Bright yellow heels I thought would go with something someday. Even a pair of ankle boots that squeaked with every step, but they were expensive, so I kept them. And yet, every week I wore the same 3: my black slip-ons, my old walking sneakers, and 1 pair of slides near the door. What changed everything was a trip I took last fall. I packed only what could fit in a carry-on: 1 pair of sneakers and 1 pair of flats. For 7 days, I never once missed the other shoes. That trip showed me something: the perfect pair I was saving for the right outfit. I didn't even think about them when they weren't there. So when I got home, I lined up every pair of shoes I owned on the floor and asked, would I pack this if I had to live out of a suitcase for a week? If the answer was no, it went in the donation bag. Now my shoe shelf holds exactly what I wear, not what I feel guilty about not wearing. Fashion clutter doesn't look messy at first glance, but it slowly drains your time, space, and energy. And when your wardrobe only holds things you love and actually wear, you stop second-guessing and start feeling more at ease in your space. Let's stay in the closet for a bit. The next tip is for those "maybe I'll wear it someday" clothes we all hang on to. We all have those items: the blazer from that old job, the jeans that almost zip the dress we might wear if we ever get invited to the right event. They're not broken. They're not even ugly. But they're taking up space in our closet and in our minds. Here's what I did one Saturday morning. I pulled out 5 pieces I hadn't worn in over a year and asked myself one question: would I put this on tomorrow if I had no plans and no one to impress? Every item I said no to went straight into a bag. Because here's the truth: I wasn't holding on to those clothes because I loved them. I was holding on to a version of myself that no longer exists. I used to wear structured pants to the office. Now I work from home and spend most days in soft jeans or loose jumpsuits. Those pants, they didn't serve me anymore. They served a memory. By letting them go, I didn't just clear space in my closet. I cleared out an old expectation of what I should look like and made room for what actually fits my real everyday life. So here's your prompt. Find one item this week that represents a version of yourself you've already outgrown. Then kindly thank it and let it go. Coming up, a simple trick that quietly reveals which clothes you never actually wear without you even realizing it. Sometimes we don't need to overthink what to declutter. We just need to let time tell us. Here's what I started doing. Every time I do laundry and hang something back in the closet, I place the hanger facing forward. But once a season, about every 3 months, I take 5 minutes and look for hangers that are still facing backward. Those are the clothes I've skipped. Not once, not twice. Every single time I got dressed. It's not emotional. It's not dramatic. It's just data. And it speaks clearly. One of the easiest decluttering decisions I ever made was when I realized a top I thought I loved had been skipped 17 times in a row. Not because it was torn or ugly, just because something else always felt better. This method works because it doesn't rely on memory. You don't have to think back or make a list. You let your habits show you what you truly reach for and what's just filling space. Try this. Flip all your hangers backward today. 3 months from now, you'll be surprised by how much you've outgrown quietly and without even noticing. Coming up next, let's move from clothes to the kitchen, where clutter hides in your daily routine. It's heavy, it's bulky, and somehow, it still collects crumbs. The wooden knife block that came with your cutlery set might look organized, but it actually creates more problems than it solves. Here's what I noticed. I only used 3 knives: the chef's knife, the paring knife, and maybe the bread knife once a week. The other 5. They just sat there, dusty, wobbly, and every time I cleaned the counter, I had to lift the whole block to wipe underneath. One day I asked myself, why am I giving up prime counter space for something I barely use and never clean properly? Now I store my 3 go-to knives on a slim magnetic strip inside a cabinet door. They're easy to grab, easy to wipe down, and completely out of sight. No more block, no more clutter. Less on your counters means more room to cook, think, and breathe. And honestly, it just feels calmer. So if you've got a knife block that's holding more dust than useful tools, it might be time to rethink where your knives really belong. Next up, let's talk about those little pods that promise convenience but quietly steal space and money in the long run. It looked like a smart upgrade, a sleek hot water dispenser with a big built-in tank. No more waiting for water to boil, just one press and done. That's what the ad said. But here's what really happened. It took up half the counter next to my stove. I had to refill it awkwardly with a pitcher. And the worst part? It needed regular descaling, which I kept forgetting to do. I used it for tea, maybe twice a week. Every other time I still reached for my small stovetop kettle because it felt faster and simpler. One day I realized this convenient machine was actually adding friction to my routine. Now I just use a lightweight gooseneck kettle. It heats quickly, pours cleanly, and stores easily in a drawer when not in use. No noise, no buildup, no bulky base taking up space I could use for food prep. Here's the truth. Just because something promises to save time doesn't mean it fits your real habits. And the longer it sits there unused, the more visual clutter it creates, and the more guilt it quietly adds. So if there's a device in your kitchen that looked great in theory but doesn't serve your daily life, maybe it's time to unplug for good. Let's stay in the kitchen for a bit. Next up, a quiet space hog hiding in your cookware drawer. If you've ever opened your pot and pan drawer and had to lift one to reach another, this one's for you. There was a time when I owned 2 frying pans same size, 3 saucepans in slightly different depths, a big wok I used once for pad thai, a roasting pan still in the box from a holiday 3 years ago. It felt like I needed options, but in reality, I was using the same 2 pans over and over. So I gave myself a challenge. For 7 days, I only used 3 pieces of cookware, no exceptions. Here's what I picked, and why. A deep, non-stick sauté pan. I used this for everything from morning eggs to one-pan pasta and stir-fries. A small stainless steel pot, perfect for boiling noodles, heating up soup, or steaming frozen veggies. A flat baking sheet. I used it for oven-roasted vegetables, baked fish, and even toasted sandwiches. That week, I didn't struggle once. In fact, cooking felt faster because I wasn't overwhelmed with choices and cleanup took half the time. After the week ended, I packed the rest of my cookware into a bin and placed it in the garage. I told myself if I don't need anything from this bin in the next 30 days, I'll donate it. 30 days later, I hadn't opened the lid once. Sometimes the real clutter isn't mess, it's decisions. And reducing choices in the kitchen gives you back more than space. It gives you mental energy. So take a look at your cabinets today. Pull out the 3 tools you cook with the most. And ask yourself what's just taking up room. Coming up the tiny, seemingly innocent items that sneak into our homes and pile up without us noticing. Some of the most persistent clutter doesn't take up much space. It just takes up energy. Let me give you an example. I had a drawer in my hallway with things like a ceramic ring dish I never used, a mini clip-on light I thought I'd need for reading, a decorative bottle opener that didn't actually open anything, a fabric pouch that I kept because it was too pretty to toss. None of these items were bad. They weren't broken. But every time I opened that drawer to grab something, I did need keys, stamps, a charger. They were in the way. And over time, they chipped away at my calm. They made small moments feel harder than they had to be. Not because of their size, but because they added static to spaces I used every day. So I did a 15-minute sweep. I asked myself one question. Have I used this in the last 90 days, and would I miss it if it disappeared tomorrow? Most of the answers were no. Now that drawer holds exactly what I need. No more nudging aside random objects to find the one thing I came for. Clutter isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's hiding behind a cute design and a good excuse. If you've got a tray shelf or basket full of just in case or it was a gift stuff, this might be your moment to clear it out. Let's keep going. Next up, the kinds of organizers that promise to help, but actually add more layers to your space. Let me tell you about a drawer that used to make me feel productive until it started making me feel tired. It was my perfectly organized bathroom drawer. I had acrylic dividers for cotton pads, Q-tips, extra toothpaste, backup razors, even one little box just for lip balm. Everything had a place until it didn't. Because when I ran out of something, I wouldn't toss the empty bin. I'd keep refilling, rearranging, refitting, adjusting the boxes so everything still looked organized, even when it wasn't actually working anymore. Here's the trap. We think containers, trays, and fancy labels will fix the mess, but sometimes they just cover it up. One day I pulled everything out and asked if this drawer had no dividers, what would I actually keep in it? The answer: half of what was in there. Now that drawer holds only what I use weekly with one small tray to keep things from rolling around. No more over-compartmentalizing. No more playing Tetris with my toiletries. The lesson: true organization isn't about having the most bins. It's about having the fewest things to organize. So before you buy one more basket, ask yourself, do I need more containers or just fewer items? Let's take that same thinking into how we evaluate the effort we give to stuff and how much it gives back. Here's a question I started asking myself whenever I felt annoyed in my own home. Who's really in charge here, me or my stuff? I'll give you an example. I used to own this decorative centerpiece for my dining table. It looked beautiful in pictures, a wide glass bowl filled with dried florals and tiny lights. The problem? It collected dust like crazy. Every time I wiped the table, I had to move it, carefully, then clean around it, then clean it. Did it make dinner feel more special? Honestly, no. It just made wiping the table take 3 minutes longer and made me sigh every time I had to deal with it. That's when it hit me. This object is costing me energy and not giving anything back. So I packed it up. Now I use a simple wooden tray with a candle I actually light in the evenings. It feels calming, easy to move, and easy to clean. It works for me, not the other way around. And that's the mindset shift. Every item in your home should earn its place. If it demands more care than it's worth, more wiping, more storing, more fussing, then maybe it's not adding value at all. Try this today. Walk through your space and find one item that takes more energy than it deserves. And ask yourself honestly, is this worth my time? Every single week, coming up a mindset shift that stops clutter before it even enters the house. Let's be honest, most of the clutter in our homes didn't sneak in. We invited it, with good intentions. You see something online on sale or beautifully staged in someone else's kitchen, and suddenly it feels urgent. If I don't get it now, I'll miss out. This will finally fix that annoying problem. It's just one little thing. But here's the truth I had to learn the hard way. Most of what I bought wasn't because I needed it. It was because I felt something was missing. I remember once standing in a store holding a new storage bin. It was on clearance. It matched my pantry jars. It was perfect. And then I realized I had no idea what I'd put in it. That moment changed how I shop. Now I never buy containers, organizers, or solutions unless I already have a clear plan and an actual problem to solve. Here's a trick. Next time you feel that pull, pause and ask, is this solving an actual need? Or just soothing a temporary feeling? If it's the second, the real solution probably isn't at the store. It's in creating space, not adding more stuff. Because space feels better than almost anything we can buy. Let's wrap up. I'll share one quick summary and a next step that might help you keep this momentum going. So that's it. 13 things I've removed, replaced, or rethought to make my home feel lighter. Not perfect, not Pinterest-worthy, just easier to live in. If you've been feeling like your space is too loud, too crowded, or too much to manage, try one of these shifts. You don't need to do everything today. Just start with one drawer, one shelf, one small decision. Starting tomorrow, I'll be sharing a new video every day for 1 week focused on simple, practical resets to help you reclaim your home. It's my personal challenge 1 week to a calmer, lighter space, and I'd love for you to do it with me. So stay tuned. I'm really excited to share it with you. And if this kind of calm, clutter-clearing mindset speaks to you, I have a video coming tomorrow that kicks off a full week of realistic resets. Nothing extreme. Just simple moves that help your home feel like a place you actually want to be in. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it. And if this video gave you even one aha moment, leave a comment and let me know which tip landed for you. I read every single one, and your stories always inspire more videos like this. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.